What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk, podcast 72, inching closer to 100. But how you guys doing? Of
All good. Good to be here.
Pretty good, man. Thanks for waiting, guys. Appreciate it.
course, man.
Yes, sir.
I got nothing else to do. So we're going to talk about should the Lakers shut down LeBron and AD? And I know they beat the Warriors, whatever. We're not going to get into that. We're going to get into the rest of the season. We moved past the blemishes. And then we'll talk about, is it good for the NBA to expand to 32 teams? The rumored teams are Seattle and Las Vegas. This is a rumor. I think Shams brought it up, so we'll talk about that. And then Brittney Griner was arrested in Russia, and she's reportedly facing 5 to 10 years in prison. So we'll go over that because that's scary, especially with everything going on in Russia right now. But as Laker fans, do you guys think you guys should shut down LeBron and AD or just one of them?
Man, that's so difficult. What are we playing for right now, man? We're a couple games out of the playoff picture. I mean, playing tournament is pretty much the only goal that we got. I mean, obviously, you still want to win a shit, but the playing tournament is what we're aiming for. It's difficult, but we'll get a good game. We'll play a really good game, and then we'll go back to our roots literally the next night. So if it means saving our players and waiting for next season, I would do it because we got how many games left? 20, 19, more or less. Unless we just go undefeated in these last couple games, right? It's still hard to determine. And tonight, LeBron sat out with knee soreness. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. I'm okay doing it either way. LeBron's not getting any younger. AD isn't getting any healthier. Who God knows when he'll be back. So I think it might be the smart decision just because you want to play your young guys and you want to see who's going to be around for the team next year with the changes that we can possibly make. So I'm not opposed to it. I wouldn't be surprised. Is what I'm trying to say, pretty much.
If you asked me this a week ago, I would have fought hard to sit both, especially because we know they're not winning a title this year, and that's honestly what you play for. But my friend brought up how close or how much he wants to pass Kareem on the all-time scoring list, and he's actually catching Karl Malone. So LeBron's third, Malone's second. LeBron is 208 points behind. So he could very much, he's pretty likely to pass Malone this season. And for that, I'll say no, don't sit LeBron because I know people talk bad about chasing stats, but that's so hypocritical because if I was him, I would do that too. Like I know Warrior fans catch a lot of heat for the 73 wins, as they should. But I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have wanted them to go for it if that was my team. Despite how it ended, it's still historical. And I mean, yeah, it sucks that this is happening on the Lakers because if it was any other team, I would root for it even more. I know he has the nagging knee injury, but obviously it's not too bad where he has to sit out the whole year. And we'll be out early enough this year where he can get enough rest on the off season. So I do say this as a LeBron fan too. So, but I respect it. And in terms of AD, yes, please shut him down. If he can get healthy by the play-in, then I want to see it maybe just to make a little push. But yeah, I'm all for LeBron chasing the record.
Yeah, I think AD is a no doubt for me. I don't see the point of pushing him further at this point. Even if you were to somehow beat the Pelicans. I think Pelicans are not the problem. It's facing the Clippers or the Timberwolves. Both teams have been pretty hot as of recently. Obviously, Timberwolves winner of 5 in a row. And you'd have to face off against right now the Grizzlies or the Suns. And I don't know if the Lakers would want to go into a series like that going into the offseason. LeBron, I like what you said, Miles, about chasing the scoring titles. I'm cool with it. Getting Malone as far off of the list and kind of erasing him from history, I'm cool with that. You know, the dude's a dick, so I'm cool with it. But I think the thing is, like, the Lakers are not going to compete this season, and they don't have a pick, so it's tough because you're tanking or you're shutting down them for no reason. So it's a tough order, but yeah, I think shutting both of them down for next season is a good idea. But for LeBron, you don't know how many years he's going to have left. You don't know how healthy he's going to be. Obviously, this injury, they said, is significant, or a significant knee soreness. So it's kind of up in the air. But either way, I think it's good for them, good for LeBron at least. So we'll see what happens. But in terms of the Lakers retool, who would you guys want to trade? Obviously, I know, Miles, you want John Wall. I don't know if you guys saw Bleacher Report's question about, or like trade. I think it was John Wall and one other player, like a throw-in player for Russell Westbrook, THT, and top 10 protected pick. Would you guys do that trade?
Yes, right away. And I want to clarify that John Wall was only for this year at the deadline, because I know you can get way better in the offseason. So I'm starting back up the bandwagon of Dame to the Lakers. I think it's a matter of time, whether he comes to Lakers or not. But I don't see him staying in Portland unless they can pull off some crazy trade or big free agent signing that convince him to stay. Dame's gonna go somewhere, and I mean, Lakers look pretty nice.
Hey, you know what? I'd have to second that with Miles. You know, I think yes, it is only a matter of time until Dame leaves. Might not be to the Lakers, but I think it's a match made in heaven, man. If you think about it, he doesn't want to run from the grind, and there's always something to grind out in LA, especially right now. So I would definitely welcome that. But in terms of what you asked, Spence, I would do that. I would definitely do that trade. THT for me, so sad. I hate to say it. I love THT, but THT is catching up to Kuzma, and that's not a race where you want to catch up to. It's just,
I don't know. Kuz's kind of all-star now. I don't know if you know. Double machine.
Hate to see it, CJ.
See, the thing is, man, he's starting to catch up with Kuzma with how Kuzma was as a Laker. You know, it's not the good kind of Kuzma. You know, hey, man, I'm gonna say that's a fluke. I don't care what he's doing in Washington. It's a fluke. I'm hating, but
hey, they have the new tandem, Kristaps and Kuz.
Hey,
that's nasty.
It's Kuz and KP, but not for me. You know. But
bars.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in THT. You could tell LeBron gets frustrated when he does some certain things, and he's been around in the league for quite some time now at his age, and how with this team to know how to play, but it just hasn't panned out, man. And I'm willing to bet that if the Lakers received John Wall at the deadline, that we would have at least won more games than what we did now. Obviously, John Wall hasn't seen NBA action in quite some time, and I know he's probably staying in shape. He's trying to be ready, but with just the type of player he is compared to Russ and how his fit is, I just think that it would have been much better. But like Miles said, it was just a rental year for John Wall. And I know in the offseason we can definitely get better, even though reports are coming out where it's going to be very difficult with what we got. So, just got to tough it out. The one thing I want to say before I end my answer is, hey man, that Kendall Marshall season wasn't even as bad.
It's always worse when you have hope. When you have hope,
Yeah.
it is
Yep.
different. When you have no hope, it's like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty good,
Yep.
and that's your win, you know. But when there's hope, and you're losing by when you lose by 28 to the Pelicans, that's when it changes,
bro.
Hey, CJ McCollum, man. Shout out to him.
Hey, that dude's been going off though. He's kind of carrying them to the play-in.
No, he
Not
is.
gonna lie.
Yeah. Him and Bi for sure. They're nasty.
That's a tandem, bro. That's a tandem, man.
And then you guys see Zion might come back.
Oh man, hey, my
All of a
guy.
sudden, hey, my team's doing well.
Man,
I'm tired of seeing the pictures. Like, bro, every week it's like, oh, he's progressing. Next week, oh, he has surgery again. It's like, okay, I'm kind of over it. It feels like Ben Simmons again. You know,
I do want to give him some love. I've been seeing people like bring up how good of a season he had last year, like, and
he's
his
ridiculous when healthy.
Yeah, exactly, and like
Bro.
his shooting percentages were absurd.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just want to see him healthy. I know
man.
I know it's funny to like clown and meme on people, and it is. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, I just want to see him again because people forget very fast.
Did you guys see the Mardi Gras parade? How he was, they had a whole float dedicated to him, calling him a fat ass.
That was something.
Miles, I will send it to you. It's bad.
This was in New Orleans?
Yes.
In New Orleans.
What are they doing?
Bro, they're pushing him out like that.
Yeah. For what?
Let me see if I can find it. But it was bad.
That's stupid. Because at the very least, you want him to extend just so you can trade him even. Like, not lose him for nothing.
I almost guarantee he's gone.
Oh my
there's
God.
just no way.
I need to see this.
I just want to see him on the Knicks, man.
I don't know. I don't even think Dibs wants anyone.
I want that Duke trio to reunite, but I will say this though. Like Miles said, the memes are hilarious, and I think one particular one that comes into mind is that picture of him with two dogs. I just think it's hilarious, bro. Like how he's literally walking the dogs, and they're like paws in to somebody. It's hilarious.
These dogs are gigantic.
No, they are. They are gigantic. Yeah. So,
but
yeah, man, this one was just.
It's really bad. It's really bad. And like, it is one thing to have it somewhere else, but to have it in New Orleans is really, and then like to like just call him fat, like it's messed up because you don't know what he's been through. Like big men getting foot injuries is tough. So
it is.
Good Lord, that video is something else. And it like
it
means a lot more because like that's down in the South. My God, bro.
And like thing is like if you want him to come back and you're doing shit like that, bro, he's not gonna want to come back. There's just no way. I would if anyone ever did that and I'm like a superstar athlete, why would I even come and like play again? It's not like he's faking this shit.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It makes no sense. But you know, that's just how it is. That's how people are. You don't give them what they want, they turn into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the NBA is, I guess, thinking to expand. They might expand. I think it's going to be at like the seminar or whatever they call it this offseason to expand to 32 teams. Seattle and Las Vegas are the two rumored destinations. Do you guys think that's a good idea? Obviously, I think we all think Seattle is a great idea. The Supersonics were iconic, and they for sure deserve a team. But what do you guys think about Vegas or like any other destinations?
Man, I think Seattle is just a no-brainer, like you said. Just because of the nostalgia it has on the people. I definitely think Seattle needs a team. Also, shout out San Jose. We need a team too.
Would you guys hop off the bandwagon?
Nah. Hey.
I was wondering why you said that. I was like,
nah. But hey, you know what? Like most people say, you live in the Bay Area, so you're automatically a Warriors fan. You know what I mean?
And if you're not, shame on you and your family.
Yeah, I know. If you're not, shame on you.
I agree with that.
But hey, realistically speaking, as much as I want the Supersonics to have a team again, I really think the team that's going to have it first is Vegas. The same thing that the Raiders pulled off in football. Bro, if you think about it, that team pulls in a lot of revenue. You got people traveling out here to go to those games, right? New stadium, everything. So, I mean, I hope the Las Vegas Aces, right? I hope they get enough pull because as soon as an NBA team goes there, they're for sure going to take over. And who doesn't love Vegas, right? So, as much as I would love Seattle, I definitely think Vegas would be the first one on the list. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. The more teams, the better. More opportunities for other people, more opportunities for professional athletes, right? So I would definitely love to see more of these expansion teams.
Yeah, going off of what you said, I think that's accurate. Vegas is probably one on the list, and I think Seattle would be two, just because you can be flexible with the Eastern Conference teams. You have options from the West to slide over to the East. So I think either way, both teams come from the West because you can't just add one team either, you know. So I think it's a great idea, and also just for the shock value of it. Like obviously, if your team gets picked, that kind of sucks. But seeing these kind of big names leave their team and start a new one, it's pretty exciting.
Yep.
Because the last time this happened was 2002 with the Pelicans. Back then they were the Hornets because Charlotte changed to the Bobcats. But I digress. Yeah, like it would be cool to see. I don't remember exactly how they compensated teams for giving up certain players. I assume like draft capital. But yeah, just seeing a whole new team like that and all those players on there from everywhere would be very cool. And yeah, honestly, a team in Vegas would be fire because I go to Vegas a lot. And I know with the sports betting picking up, that team would be embraced over there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Seattle. The only way I'm allowing Seattle back is they keep the Supersonics name and the same green. I think that'd be sick. Plus, a televised expansion draft would be really fun to watch as long as it's not your team getting picked. If it's anything, I mean, 2K is not like the best barometer of how things work, but in 2K they allow you to control 8 players and then or like keep 8 players and then you give 4 to the draft. And then once your team is picked, you can't be picked from again. So if it's like that, maybe it's like, that'd be pretty cool. I think for Vegas, I'm kind of hesitant because of what's happened with the Raiders. I think in the span of like a year, 3 players from the NFL have been arrested already. Henry Ruggs, obviously the most infamous after he killed someone. Alvin Kamara was arrested before the Pro Bowl. And I think another player was arrested in that same situation. I think the problem in Vegas is like there's so many things that can go wrong. And there's a lot of drunk idiots that'll spark fights. And I think these athletes sometimes don't really have a gauge on their own anger and they'll just go off. So it could be, I hope it's not the same for the NBA. I don't want to see NBA players get arrested, but I do agree Vegas is probably going to be the first one to ever get a team or first to get an expansion draft team just because they already hold the summer league. They have shown that there's a lot of interest in sports teams. Sports betting is there. So I definitely do think it stays there because I really couldn't think of anywhere else other than San Diego. And I don't think they're going to add another California team because we already got too many. Unless the Kings want to get out. I'm cool with that. Other than that, I really don't see anywhere else because I think I looked up some suggestions like Kentucky was one, St. Louis.
No thanks.
Yeah, like they're just but like Tampa. Why do we need another Florida team?
Yeah.
There are just like a lot of places that I don't think NBA players would want to go, especially Kentucky. Like NBA players only want to go to Utah. What makes you think they want to go to Kentucky? And so it's tough. I think there are only a couple places that deserve teams. So I guess it would have to be Vegas or Seattle. I think you have to add two. You don't want an odd number of teams. That's awkward. So for that, I guess I'm cool with both. But expansion draft, take Bielitsa from us, and I'm cool. But for you guys have to protect THT because I think he's pretty important.
Hey man, take THT, take Russ, take Bazemore, take DeAndre Jordan, even though he's gone.
I almost 100% guarantee Russell Westbrook would not get picked. Even Bazemore, bro.
Oh God, bro,
Yep.
I hate this.
He went there. They told him he could start and he gets the bench minutes. He gets garbage time.
Yeah,
that's what you get for leaving Steph, though. You hate to see
it. Man.
But on to Brittney Griner, a very serious situation. So to briefly go over what has happened, she was arrested in Moscow. She was found with hash oil, and hash oil is weed concentrate. So she was found with weed, and it's banned in Russia. And so essentially she was arrested in February 2022. So I heard it was 3 weeks ago, and we were just hearing about it recently. It's a very scary situation because it's obviously a U.S. citizen, and then everything that's going on in Russia makes it even worse. This is happening before that. And so now there's no news of where she is. They don't know what's happening. All they know is that she's somewhere in Russia. They don't know if she's in prison, but she is facing 5 to 10 years in prison. So it's not looking good. I think, there's a lot of people kind of fighting for her to come back, obviously. And I think hopefully people take it more seriously, because I think I've seen a lot of people just kind of making fun of the whole situation. But it's super serious. And she's obviously a great basketball player, and it's kind of sad that she has to go play in Russia to make more money. Because I think I saw she makes like $600K in the WNBA, and then in Russia she makes millions. So that should not be a thing. But what do you guys think of this whole thing? Obviously, it's very serious.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. Just sucks because Americans were given warnings like weeks in advance before everything went down a week and a half ago to pretty much get out of Russia and Ukraine, because you can't go in to get them no matter what. Like, yeah, she's one of the best players in the WNBA, but we're talking about nuclear warfare, and that's like once one goes off, most of them go off, and the earth is done. So super unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way. But Russia is run by a very irrational person. I don't even want to call him a man, because that's it's just terrible. Like, I just hope she is safe and hopefully can come home soon. But it's just tough considering the current relationship between the US and Russia. So, and I feel like Putin is the petty type.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. No, what's sad is that I know I saw a report like that said that we weren't even gonna know about this until it leaked somehow. What she's been incarcerated, or she's been kept by the authorities for 2 months now.
For a couple weeks.
Well, yeah, regardless, it's crazy because we're only knowing the story now, and I understand that it's probably difficult to have some sort of communication between two areas, but with everything going crazy right now, it's just gonna be so hard to get her home. And I saw on my timeline about how representatives are trying to get her home, and it's crazy because her offense is something so little and could have easily been avoided had she known, right? But they're treating it as if like she murdered somebody or stole something of significance. But at the end of the day, it was just something that was in her possession. And so it's definitely a sad situation. I truly hope that she's able to come home and that they can pull her out because being out there during these times, I'm coming back from a Europe trip, and even though I was fairly close, but not close to the point where they would get affected, it was still scary for me. So I can't even imagine what she's going through right now. I just truly hope that they can pull something out so that she may come home. And she's one hell of a basketball player, and it's sad, very unfortunate, very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think I saw a report Shabazz Napier was playing in Russia. He had to come back. And I think it also should be said, like, Russia is not the most accepting places. And obviously, since she's lesbian, maybe it has something to do with it. But it's just a really unfortunate situation. Hopefully, she gets sent home or she gets to come home. Yeah, it's must be super scary. I mean, that's crazy that we just found out about it and it happened 3 weeks ago. I don't know how it took that long to come out, but that's crazy. It's super sad.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thankful it even got out because, it's Russia. They have control over what's on the media. So, I mean, again, like hopefully she's safe physically.
Facts.
Obviously, it'll take a mental toll, but you can't deal with irrational people.
Yeah, you really can't, and it's really showing now. It's just a really bad situation to be in, especially with how, like, I'm sure, like, there's not much communication going on in the first place. So, and plus, this is a person of, like, very important person within the U.S., considering, like, how special athletes are to U.S. citizens. So it's a pretty bad situation. I really hope she doesn't go to prison for 5 to 10 years for hash oil. That just,
Yeah.
that's bad. It's not like California. So, but that's gonna do it for our 72nd episode. Appreciate you guys for coming back. This is
Thank
always
you
fun.
as always, bro. Yep. We got the big 73 next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big 73. Nothing tied to that.
Yeah.
But check out our links down in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But that's gonna do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.